Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to bask in unprecedented glory, because today I'm going to be shedding light on the top 5 reasons why you should desist and abstain from buying Jump Force in 2019. So why should you forgo buying the aforementioned game in 2019? Well, unfortunately, to my dismay, there's been an omission of previously developed characters that were embedded in J-Star's Victory Versus and J-Star's Victory Versus Plus. They didn't transfer over to Jump Force. The developers could have easily, seamlessly integrated them in the game, but they chose to omit them. Will they be released sometime in the pending future? I do not know. The future is enigmatic and obscure and behind a veil of time, but it's just terrible and appalling that characters such as Hiei, Madoru Uchiha, and other nostalgic classic fan favorite characters won't return to the Jump series anytime soon. It's tragic. The second reason is that there's no CPU versus CPU mode. We love to see our favorite characters duke it out and bounce against one another while controlled by computer players, but you no longer have that option. You didn't have it in J-Stars or J-Stars Victory Versus Plus, and you certainly sure as hell don't have it in Jump Force. So, what a pity, but it is what it is. They unabashedly omit that from the game. Thank you tremendously, Spike Chunsoft. The third reason is that a video game is a depreciating asset. It's preordained to plunge and plummet in value over time. As novelty wears off, people lose interest. People are more inclined to relinquish it over time. So if you wait until 2020 to buy it, you'll be able to get it for a significantly lower price than you otherwise would be able to if you got it in 2019. The fourth reason why you should not buy it is because there's a season pass. And I don't like submitting the practice of content being omitted from the game. The characters that are slated to be released have already likely been developed. That's my arbitrary assumption. And they should have been included in the initial roster. I don't like when companies try to upsell me anything. It's quite a deterrent. So, I don't like supporting that anti-customer business practice. It's just disgraceful, abhorrent, and repugnant, in my opinion, that they release season passes when all the characters should have been initially included in the game, or should be released for free sometime in the pending future. Especially when you consider that the customer already succumbed to paying $60+ for the game. It's just a slap in their face, metaphorically speaking. And I detest and disdain hemorrhaging money on more content when I already bought the game. So the content should have been free to customers who purchased the game. And of course, the fifth and final reason, perhaps the most enticing one to defer buying the game, is because a better version of the game will likely be released sometime in the pending future. There's no guarantee, but we may have an edition that includes all the characters, that includes refined gameplay mechanics, that has more stages, that has an expanded story mode. I don't know, but there's definitely a possibility. With fighting games, they typically release at least 2 versions. The vanilla version, the core version, the initial version, and of course updated version with fine-tuned gameplay mechanics, with more characters, with more stages, and perhaps an expanded story mode. So, to recapitulate, the top 5 reasons to desist from buying the game in 2019 encompass the following. There's been an omission of previously developed characters. such as Hiei and Maruichiya. Characters for J-Stars and J-Stars Victory vs. Plus are unfortunately not going to be included in Jump Force, and I don't like supporting this practice of game developers and publishers omitting characters in new installments in their series. It deters me from wanting to buy the game. Second reason is that there's no CPU versus CPU mode. I love spectating the computer players duke it out against one another in death battles. The third reason is that a video game is a depreciating asset, so its value will plunge into the abyss over the course of time. As time elapses, video games become less and less valuable to others in terms of their extrinsic values. Their intrinsic values remain the same, but their extrinsic values diminish. Of course, the fourth reason is that there's going to be a season pass, so it's just another abysmal business practice and is anti-customer oriented. The content was likely developed beforehand, and they chose to omit it from the vanilla version of the game and release it later on as DLC, locked behind a paid wall. So just disgraceful, if you ask me. And of course, the fifth and final reason is that there's more than likely going to be a better version that's appearing to be released sometime in the pending future. It'll be more grandiose. It will have more content, more characters, possibly more stages, possibly an expanded story mode, and possibly more appeal. So those are the top 5 reasons to refrain from buying the game in 2019. However, if you're an avid devout anime fan, then you may want to consider otherwise and neglect everything that I just spewed out of my vocal folds, because your love for anime will likely trump the deterrents that disincentivize you to buy the game. There's more benefits associated with buying the game if you're an avid anime fan than there are downsides. So you can buy the game to indulge in your jollies and to experience the utmost highest form of stimuli. However, if you're conservative, frugal, and prudent, then it behooves you to take heed of what I stated earlier and at least wait a year or two before implementing a purchasing decision to buy the game. Your wallet will thank you, and you may get an enhanced, augmented, embellished version of the game for a lower price than you otherwise would if you chose to buy the game in 2019. So I hope they found this video to be intriguing and insightful. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.